Hello. I am Sean Richards, and you are listening to the Sista Speak podcast on the Digital Podcast Network. And I am here with my girls, my co-hosts. I am introducing them one by one. There is Morgan Alexandria.
Hey, y'all.
Quinn Walters.
Hello, you guys.
And Nikki Starr.
What's up?
And today's topic, we're going to be discussing why men cheat.
Ooh.
How can you tell if your man is cheating on you? The first thing is going to be the Saturday night test. Now, that is something that we all kind of know that's going to be the key to knowing that your man is possibly cheating on you. So, are you the main girl? Do you know anything about that, Morgan?
Well, if you are not the girl on Saturday night and he's not at your crib or you're not at his on Saturday night, then he's at somebody else's, which means you getting cheated on. That's just what I think. What you think, Quinn?
Well, Morgan, this is my first time hearing about this. So seriously, I'm just coming out of a 10-year relationship.
Wow.
So I've never experienced this dating and Saturday, and am I the chick on Saturday? Am I the chick on Wednesday? I don't even know anything about this. So please, Sean, Morgan, Nikki, educate your girl. Let me know.
Okay.
Well, I can't really educate you on the Saturday night test because I've always been the Saturday daytime girl.
Whoa, okay.
I've never been Saturday night. I was Saturday night with one guy, but I was not interested in him.
Okay, that was an easy Saturday night.
That was an easy Saturday night. But I have come to learn that, like, when he's checking out, if you're hanging out on Saturday and he's checking out because he has something else to do, you ain't that girl. Right? He's going to somebody that he wants to spend that evening with, to wake up with on Sunday morning, to probably take to church with, and then go have dinner with his family.
So that's a Saturday night that turns into a Sunday.
Yes, because the Saturday night girl, that's his main. We say John in Philly, where I'm from, so we say that's his main John. So everybody else is just players in his pool. The main John is the Saturday night who's waking up at Sunday and going to church with him and then having dinner with his family.
So Quinn, you say no. You don't know what this is about.
Yeah, Sean, I listen, for the past 10 years, my Saturday night's been with the same person. So, like, for real. But I am taking notes. Yeah. I am taking notes, ladies.
Yeah, because if he wasn't home with you on Saturday night, then he's probably somewhere doing something he ain't got no business.
With the chick he want to be with.
Right.
It ain't you.
But Morgan, you knew right away. You were like, I know what this means.
Yeah, because, if you're dating someone or you're in a serious relationship, maybe not marriage, but like you're in a serious relationship or you're dating someone, then if you're not spending that quality time at night with him, you have to know, unless he's telling you you're on the phone, and then again, shoot, he could be on the phone and the chick could be right there next to him. I just feel like if you're not spending quality time at night, he's spending it with somebody else.
Especially the weekend. That is like such a crucial time for a lot of people because a lot of us have 9-to-5 jobs. We're working Monday through Friday. Then Friday night, you're probably hanging out with your friends. But Saturday is your day. That is so if you're taking your day and you're spending, especially that evening with somebody that's like your quality time, that is the main John.
Yeah.
The main John. Well, see, the main John's got to be the main Sean. Okay?
The main
Sean has got to be the main John, okay?
Yes, Sean.
Well, the thing is, sometimes when the Friday leads into the Saturday, and then all of a sudden he's got to dip out.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because you go to a matinee, but you're not going to an evening show, right?
Yeah.
So then there's clearly a problem there. But then also, too, I've also noticed you've never been to his house. That's another key, number 2, huge one.
Yeah.
Does anybody know anything about that? I'm looking right at you, Nikki. I see you.
Well, I've been to his house, okay?
Yeah, hello.
But what I will say is this. That can only work for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
The whole,
especially
when you're newly dating, it's okay for me to not go to your place because I'm not comfortable with you coming to my place. So it's okay. But after a while, and we have made it official that we are a couple, I need to see your place. Even if you have like roommates or whatever, because they make that excuse. I got roommates, or I have my kids on the weekend. Whatever that is, I need to see what your place is looking like, because if your place got a woman in it, then we got a problem.
Right.
And that's what they do a lot of times. A lot of men live with their ex, and they say it's just
wife,
and we're splitting rent, or it's hard because the kids, we don't want to break the family up. See that place, see what's going on, check the pictures, check the bathroom.
Ooh.
You see some pads and tampons in there, you got a problem.
Nikki.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
yes.
Speaking from experience.
Okay, okay. So, but Morgan,
Yeah.
I felt a little PTSD situation
No,
when you said or wife. I saw it.
Well, just because, okay, so I've had friends that have dated men who don't show them where they live, or they've never gone to the man's house, and it came up that he had a wife. And a lot of times it's like they'll do that, or maybe they may call and they don't have time to speak past a certain time, It's because someone else is there. So I think it's just a little common sense if the brother ain't bringing you to his house.
But I will say, too, Sean, that, even sometimes if you go to the house, he can have you there on a day that he didn't have the other chick there.
True.
Okay.
That's
So,
true.
some of these guys are really, really slick. Now, I can't say I've seen tampons in the bathroom. I haven't. I don't have any PTSD.
Have you looked for them,
And
Quinn?
you know what? I don't. You know what?
You don't
I'm
look for
not
them, Quinn?
the type of female that searches and looks. I don't look through phones.
It could be the hand
I don't
soap. If
look
it's like
through-
a lavender hand soap, there's a woman that lives there.
Wait a minute.
Lavender
Wait,
soothing,
Nikki.
Wait. Lavender
No.
soothing, Nikki.
Sandalwood. Men have sandalwood
Nikki.
liquid hand
Yeah.
soap.
Some guys like
No.
What-
Lavender, eucalyptus,
'Cause
all
it
that
smells
stuff. A woman has set the tone. Guys, I'm telling you. I
What
know
if it's
what I'm talking
leftover? What if it's
serious?
leftover soap?
I know what I'm talking about. If you got
Okay,
lemon
you know what,
scented
guys?
peppermint,
Are you listening?
listen.
Nikki, Miss Star over here, she knows everything.
I'm
And
taking
she's
notes.
telling me
I'm taking
lavender.
notes.
I thought everybody just loved lavender.
Taking notes from Nikki.
Sandalwood.
They do.
That is
Very
that is
masculine.
very masculine.
What about
Anything
lemon?
else?
What about
Anything
lemon?
Sweet
Lemon
smelling?
fresh.
No.
Lemon
No.
fresh. It's citrus.
Quinn,
It's
you
citrus,
think men
Nikki.
want to walk around smelling like a lemon?
No.
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 That's a woman's essence.
Yeah.
We know.
That is a true
woman's
woman's essence. That's a true woman's essence, though. You know what? No, but okay,
Y'all
so
are too
right
much.
then the third thing to me is the scheduling. When the scheduling changes,
yeah.
I mean, don't you feel that there's got to be something going on, whether it's going to the gym, wardrobe changing, I don't all of a
Agreed.
sudden I like to go to vegan restaurants.
Just
You've
when that-
never eaten vegan before, you like a steak. Now all of a sudden you're interested in,
vegan.
plant-based items? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you say about
100%.
that, Morgan?
I mean, I just think it's like a pattern. When you're in a relationship, you got a certain pattern, you got a certain beat. And when that beat starts to, remix itself, then you know.
DJ Khaled.
Then you already know something
Yes.
is not right. And then, I'm sorry, Quinn, I know you don't like to look, but then, girl, you got to get to looking because that's when you're going to find out probably 99% he ain't the one.
Yeah.
Or he's doing something he don't have no business doing.
See, Morgan, my whole thing is, I'm like, if I have to look, that's the problem right there. It's like the trust.
But if
Quinn,
you feel it, Quinn, you
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if I feel it, I ask, and I might be being lied
wow,
to,
you're-
but I am bold. I am a communicator. I am a communicator. Excuse me, sir.
Exactly.
But why in the HE double hockey sticks are you spending your
okay.
days and nights at the vegan restaurants? And if you're at the gym, where are your abs, sir? Where are your abs? Because your body's not changing, but you're going to the gym. Something's not adding up here.
And those showers at the gym lead to lots of things, okay?
Do they?
Yeah.
Tell me, Sean. Tell me, Sean.
You could take a shower and have a whole nother suit in the locker.
Yep.
Yeah,
And leave
that's
and
true.
go to the next
Yep,
place.
that's
Yeah.
very
Go
true.
back to do that 24-hour fitness.
And
Take
come
another
home
shower
stinky.
with a funky outfit on it and bring the funk home, but
Bring the
went
funk
out
home.
with the business suit,
Yeah.
okay? Business suit, clean,
Very true.
no sandalwood though.
Are
Lavender.
men really going through these
Lavender.
links? Men go through these links, huh? They go through these links.
Yeah.
Quinn.
Take a suit to the gym.
Yes.
Child.
Nikki's having a fit
They
over
will
here.
take a car seat out of the car, leave it at the gym front desk, go do their business, and then come back and change it all up. We did it in high school. Like, everybody does this.
When you took your dad's car, Nikki?
Well, no, I didn't take my dad's car, but I remember going to school looking a little different. Going to school looking very Christian by the time I got to fifth period. I was Listen, yes, we have all done it.
Yeah, no, it's true. Because it's scheduling at the gym, and you can always go to the gym. You can disappear at the gym. But the problem is you do have to come back with the abs, like Quinn said. You've got to come back with the abs.
Where are the results?
But see, instead of Quinn, though, instead of asking, that's why you got to go and look, because you know he's not going to tell you the truth.
Okay, ladies, we have been having a ball talking about men cheating, but guess what? Not all men cheat. Not all men cheat. And we're going to be bringing a wonderful guest. She's a psychotherapist. Her name is Janel Cox, and we're going to discuss healthy relationships, because guess what? Not all men cheat, and all relationships start off healthy. This is Sean Richards, and you've been listening to Sista Speak podcast on the Digital Podcast Network, and we'll be right back.
Buenas, Jael DePardo here. Want to hear this Colombiana speak her mind? Then check out the Latin Dish podcast exclusively on Digital Podcast Network.
Hello, and we are back. I'm your host, Sean Richards, with the Sista Speak podcast on the Digital Podcast Network, and we have a special guest today. We've got psychotherapist Janel Cox, and we are discussing healthy relationships, and she's going to give us some keys to the 3 principles in a healthy relationship. Janel, welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is so wonderful to be here with you ladies.
3 things. We're all dying to know. What are the 3 principles in healthy relationships?
Well, there's more than 3, but today we will definitely focus on the 3 that really resonate with me, that are really important. So this is something very near and dear to me. Relationships are very sacred. So I would think that the first thing to really know is about yourself. Know thyself. Know how you work. Understand who you are. What your true nature is. That includes getting to know your past relationships, your family of origin, what you experienced as a child growing up, your true temperament, your energy, your needs. When you study yourself and when you get to understand yourself and your blind spots, or your shadow, I call it, you're able to bring that information into the relationship and kind of stand in your truth, or your core of consciousness, in a more true way. So if you know you're off track, you can come back to your center. That's really important.
Well, Janel, a lot of people always say, I love myself. Right. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Could you expound on that? Because Morgan and Quinn, we were all discussing that before, and we all think we know what that means, but could you just go a little deeper with that?
Self-love is important. Truth and love is important. In this case, I'm talking about something different than self-love, which is self-understanding, because sometimes we do learn to love ourselves deeper through relationship. And through growing with a person and creating safety with a person, we can actually change ourselves and our sense of believing in ourselves even more, and our sense of trust inside. So that's something that evolves in time. If we were never shown love from a caretaker when we were young, how are we supposed to understand how to love ourselves? So oftentimes we have to do that through relationships. But if you know how to love yourself, great. Keep doing that. Okay. Keep knowing who you are and loving who you are. But this is about relationship. And sometimes we can heal our sense of love for ourselves through our partner, through our partnership, a sacred partnership. Sacred partnership creates more self-love.
Wow.
That's
really
wow. Say that again, Janel.
Sacred partnership creates more self-love. But go ahead and do self-love. I'm not saying not, but this is about understanding yourself, because what we're trying to do is partnership here. Partnership is hard.
Well, especially when it comes to conflict.
Right.
I mean, we argue, and I don't know about you. It's hard when you argue because you go deep.
Right.
It could be name calling. There could be anger. There could be throwing things. I mean,
feelings.
Really. Yeah, no, feelings.
Feelings. So I would say that's the second thing to really focus on is changing your relationship to conflict, reframing it, that it is not actually a bad thing. It can be very important to navigate conflict in relationships. This is how we grow. We use all of the manure as fertilizer.
Manure. That's a good word.
As fertilizer for growth.
Okay.
And we grow into more. We can grow and we can integrate those negative experiences as wisdom and understanding. Conflict is not a bad thing. It is how we repair that makes the difference between a secure or an insecure relationship. So that's something to also know about. How do we repair? When I feel hurt, when I feel disconnected from you, when I don't trust you, when you are being secretive, when you are far away from me, how do we get closer? Sometimes that's through repair. We have to, and then sometimes feelings arise and we have to repair. I would think that a good, healthy relationship has some ground rules around conflict, which includes no name calling, not being mean, create respect, watch your contempt, criticism, defensiveness, judgment, or stonewalling. So I threw in some of John Gottman's 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. That's a John Gottman theory. So we want to really be careful not to do those energies, because once mean comments are said, it's really hard to come back from those. They stick.
100%.
So we got to really tread carefully through that terrain.
So debating
So we don't do
and
damage.
arguing are two different things.
How do we
Right?
share our feelings through a debate? That's all intellectual. That's all rational.
Right.
Relationships are going to touch into your deepest love needs, and that elicits feelings. So if somebody's hiding their feelings through rationalizing or intellectualizing, they're not dropping into their feelings. We're not going to create vulnerability or intimacy if we stay in our rational mind. It's just not possible.
Wow.
That's interesting. Can I jump in here, Janelle? So, okay, now if we have had, let's just say, the name calling, the stonewalling, say we do that, right? That's happened. How do we come back? Like, how do we come back from the conflict in a positive way? Besides, it's your fault while we're here. This is why this is happening, because you did this to me. One
of the staple ways of keeping the focus on our feelings is to, you've heard of the I statement. There's a magic to it that is really relevant here. It's keeping the focus on me here and in how I feel. That's communicating how you are affecting me, as opposed to blaming you for what you did wrong.
Okay.
So when you did this, I felt this way because this. Once negativity is out there, it's hard to come back. So that takes a lot of repair. That takes a lot of owning and apologizing.
Okay.
And the behavior has to stop. It can't continue, because then your partner's not going to trust that they're safe in those moments of conflict.
Okay.
They're going to just feel like, oh, I'm going to be annihilated or abandoned or put down, and no one wants to feel that way. We can't move or grow if we're being beat down.
Okay.
It's abusive.
That's what I was just about to ask. I was about to say, that's verbal abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, but in fair fights, there is a way to do a fair fight. You can have a fair fight with your partner.
And can fights be healthy?
I think so.
Great question,
I think so.
Quinn. Yeah.
I think so. We can learn how to come to our partner with our love needs and let them know that we don't feel safe or connected, or if something that they did hurt us. We have to have those moments of bringing that information to the table. The third thing that I wanted to talk about, which this kind of all ties into, is how to create that what Stan Taken calls the couple bubble. That how Tony and Maria in West Side Story meet, and there's the spotlight that comes on them, and everything else goes dark.
Just goes dark.
Okay, that's that couple bubble, that light that comes in and forms around the two of you. That is so important. We need to work to agree to have that and maintain it. And what is it going to take to create that safety around us when we're out in public, when we're with each other's families, when we're in an outside environment? How do we maintain eye contact and touch and communication through those moments of navigating the world together, and just creating that safety. So it's prioritizing the couple's needs over individual needs. And I know that in this society, which is an individualistic society, that's not celebrated. Or understood.
No, at all.
Right, Morgan?
Yeah, because like we were talking about before, as a Black woman, you know, our mothers have taught us the strength of independence, even if you're with a man.
Exactly.
You know, you gotta, you know, secretly have your own bank account, have yourself together, always have that plan B in case it doesn't work out, which we could, you know,
that
pull
could go
those
on
layers
forever.
back. Yeah,
yes,
and
the layers with that.
And
but,
I think that we have, I think that part of that, and this could be a radical or controversial statement, but part of that independence, and I know it very, very well because for a lot of my adult life, it was easier for me to not be in relationship. Okay. It was easier for me to love myself without relationship. I didn't know how to be in a relationship and not be codependent, not be too like needy. Knowing about my own neediness has been a really hard process. So I think it is born partly out of a defense because it is extremely hard to be vulnerable with people and in those deeper soulful relationships express what our deeper needs are. It takes a lot of courage to lower those defenses and really be vulnerable in that way.
Present, yeah.
And I would also like to add, Janel, that when you do find that person and you can be that vulnerable and you can let your guard down, you have to be with a person that can meet you there. Right. A person that can receive your vulnerability, because if they cannot, then you fall flat.
That's right.
And you're embarrassed.
Hurt.
And you're hurt.
Yeah.
But the person that's wired for security or saying yes to this journey is going to be challenged by your vulnerability and step forward into it.
Well, that's what I was going to say to Quinn. On top of that, what happens when the person doesn't meet you there? Is it like you feel like a failure? Is this a person that you abandon the relationship with? Or is this somebody that you stick it out? Because emotionally, we can go at it forever, but is this going to really be a graduation to the next level intimately?
There has to be a point where through all of your trials and your conflicts and your painful situations that you come back together and agree to make a pact and agree to do this thing. And it takes work and sometimes a couples therapist to really help you solidify that, but both have to agree.
And Janel and Sean, I will add to that from personal experience.
Okay.
If you do go there, and I'm going to speak for myself, I have gone there emotionally, and I know I have. Mm-hmm. I had a partner that did not meet me there, where I was super vulnerable, ready to go to counseling, ready to go into prayer, ready to fight and not give up and not relinquish the relationship. That person said, I'm not going to therapy with you. I do not want to pray with you. This relationship is now over. That's what I had to conclude.
That's very painful.
That person didn't conclude it. I concluded it. But when you have exhausted all of your options, and you've been vulnerable,
that's right,
and you've given yourself, all of yourself, and you've embarrassed yourself.
Well, embarrassed yourself because you felt vulnerable and he didn't meet you.
Because you feel embarrassed, not because I did an embarrassing thing.
Not at all.
But that is the result of giving yourself and the deepest parts of yourself to someone honestly and purely.
That's right.
And so then there is no recourse. Then it was over.
Right. But in the future, you know that you can move forward and you can still keep yourself open. You can still be vulnerable to a good person.
Absolutely.
And you can still get that greatness that you want to, find in a man, because it is true that not all men cheat.
Oh my God. Thank you, Janel Cox, for those healthy tips. I mean, we learned so much, but you know what? You have to come back.
I would love to.
Are you promising us?
Yeah.
You're promising us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love talking about this.
Okay. Thank you so much, and we'll be right back.
This is the story of a man who had a dream. And one day, that dream turned into...
Yo, what's going on? Dean Edwards got a new show?
Yo, what's poppin'? It's your man Dean Edwards. Guess what? You remember me from Saturday Night Live, you remember me from MTV's God Code, but now you're gonna remember me from the Dean Edwards Show on the Digital Podcast Network.
I don't listen to a lot of things, but I listen to my man Dean Edwards on the Digital Podcast Network. He got his own show.
It's all Dean, it's all love. It's all going down on the Digital Podcast Network. Visit digitalpodcastnetwork.com.
We are back. Oh my God, ladies, wasn't that an amazing show? Janel Cox is the psychotherapist to the psychotherapist.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
I had so many takeaways. Nikki, Star, what were your takeaways from that relationship?
The point where she made prioritizing the couple over like the needs of the community, and that really hit me hard because I come from a family where we do everything together. You know what I mean? There's nothing that we do apart. I've just was raised like that. And then I was also raised in the church. So everything I did was with the church, and we did everything together. And I noticed growing up that a lot of relationships fell apart because so many people were in it. And it was never the couple that was the importance. It became God or the community or just other outside forces. And I've been learning as I got older that that's something that I need to take into consideration. But I look back at my past relationships, and if my mama don't like them, or if they don't get along with this, or if they don't agree with this, or my family, we do this together on Sunday. If you can't do that with us, then me and you can't work. But not really looking at what we did to come together, what attracted us, was not my family getting along with this person, but it was me and this person in this world that we created together. And I never prioritized that. I prioritized how everybody felt about the relationship, and I didn't prioritize my relationship. And so that is something that like really hit me hard because my last relationship fell apart because of that. Wow. So that's something that I'm like focusing on now, but just to hear her say it and the way she broke it down, that really it hit home and it really helped me. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was also recognizing your neediness. You know what I mean? I didn't know that I was a codependent person because I'm the middle kid in my family. So I'm always supporting everybody else, but I didn't realize because I'm supporting everybody else, I need somebody there to constantly check on me to make sure I'm okay. And I was getting that out of my relationships, but I wasn't doing it back. Wow. You know what I mean? Like I was everybody's support in my family, and then I get to my relationship and I'm like, everything that I'm doing for everybody else, I need you to do that for me. But I'm not checking in on him because I'm exhausted by the time, I get with my man.
It's called Sista Speak for a reason. Right? Sista Speak, okay?
So yeah, Janel really cleared up some things for me and gave, this sister some more power.
Okay. Quinn Walters, what do you got for us?
Well, I have to agree with you, Nikki. The couple bubble, the focusing on a relationship is definitely one thing, but I didn't want to leave that out, but I have two others. But really quickly, I appreciated when Janel talked about changing the way you deal with conflict within the relationship. And something that's big to me, like I know going forward that I need to explain how I feel to the person that I'm with versus pointing the finger at what they did. That was huge. Like I always did that. And sometimes I managed to say how I felt and how it made me feel, but making it a consistent thing and being, really adamant about putting my feelings forward instead of pointing the finger and slamming down on a person. Another thing that I took away from what Janel Cox mentioned was that sacred partnership creates self-love. Never thought about that. That's beautiful. That was just like one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Yeah, and it makes me think about the future and going forward, how I can be a stronger person, be a better person through really taking a relationship and really grooming it and caring for it like it was a little baby. I already, had that in mind, but when the way she put it, it felt different and sounded different. And it's something that I want to pursue with that set of lenses on now. So,
Quinn, I totally agree with you that the strength and vulnerability is such a amazing thing. It's like powerful, but you have all these reluctances because being a Black woman, you got to be strong for everybody.
Come on.
I tell you, the times you pull over on a freeway and you just cry in your car, that's needed.
Yeah.
It's healthy. Sure. It's good for you. There's no other way you can be a focusing partner in a relationship if you're not vulnerable and you're not able to cry.
Absolutely.
And let them, and you know what? Cry together.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't think that goes on, but that's a great
thing. That's a next level in your relationship. When you cry together, you're like, oh,
God.
We're going to die together. If we cry together, we're going to die together.
This is it. That Viola Davis cry is what I'm talking about. Okay?
Oh, yes.
Get that cry on.
Yes, but he's got to do that. He's got to do the Viola cry too. When he does it.
Well, that's when you know it's love.
Yes.
But it's even better when you're doing the Viola Davis cry and then he comes in and he starts taking it on and he gives the Viola Davis cry.
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, that was an amazing show, ladies. Sista Speak podcast on the Digital Podcast Network. We are out. I am Sean Richards.
Nikki Starr.
Quinn Walters.
Morgan Alexandria.
That's Sista Speak for this week, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.